Today, we welcome back our favorite, if you want to call it that, punching bag, Daniel Pratt!
All right, let's talk rim velocity again and the non-rotating Earth. The thumbnail of this video is a screenshot of the Machinist Handbook where it clearly states, this is established physical fact, repeated and verified by manufacturers all across the flat Earth every day.
Are you stupid or something?
The destructive velocity of, or destructive force of a flywheel or a whirling space ball, same difference, absolutely no difference at all between a spinning ball and a spinning flywheel. The equator is the rim, the outermost point. The destructive force in a flywheel relies solely on the rim velocity and is independent of the radius.
All right.
Therefore, whether it is a 1-foot circumference flywheel or a 24,000-mile circumference flywheel, all that matters is the 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity.
You stupid moron!
At the equator, the Earth is purportedly spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour. That is the rim velocity. With a 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity that once again is independent of radius.
All survey said.
Therefore, their scale argument doesn't work. A 1,000 mile destructive force on a 24,000 mile circumference ball is the exact same as a 1-foot circumference flywheel spinning at the same 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity.
What a dumbass.
So I'm constantly accused Dan never does his own experiments. No, I've done plenty. You trolls just make sure to get my channels shut down so that they all disappear. So when I stood right over there and spun a ball, a kickball, on my drill, and everybody watched it turn into an oblate spheroid Mentos well below a 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity proves the Earth would be destroyed. It would be flung into space and would combust.
You're an idiot.
At a 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity. When I did that ball on the drill, it wasn't going over 300 mile per hour rim velocity. There are RPM to mile per hour calculators all over the internet. It depends on the size of what you're spinning to convert it to mile per hour to rim velocity. There are RPM to mile per hour calculators all over the internet. It depends on the size of what you're spinning.
Okay.
You must be so embarrassed. Do me.
I have never felt such shit.
Oh, Pratt, you're so stupid. The circumference of a circle is dependent on its radius. Don't you know the formula for the circumference of a circle? It's 2 pi r. What if the radius is bigger, then the circumference will be bigger. You're a fool, Pratt.
But again, it says right in the machinist handbook, go look at the thumbnail again. And I'm going to leave the video that was done in 2016 proving this. Yet they ignore it, deflect away from it because they have zero science to disprove it because it's used in manufacturing again all day, every day.
It's finally happened. You've lost your mind.
But they will come with arguments, disingenuous, lying arguments saying, oh, but it's so big, the Earth's so big, because they want you to forget again. The destructive force of a flywheel depends solely on the rim velocity, which is 1,000 miles per hour.
You are a moron.
So you can take any ball you want, spin it as close to 1,000 miles per hour as you can get, and watch what happens. It's the same thing that would happen to Earth. I guarantee you, if you have some water on that ball as you start to spin it, it will all flow towards the equator first and then get flung off at ridiculous distances and speed. The same thing that would happen to an Earth with a 1,000 mile per hour rim velocity. Proving we do not rotate, and these people are full of absolute trash.
I know you are, but what am I?
Scientism, religious dogma that they cannot back up and is indeed refuted with actual science.
Say what? Dude's crazy.
So I'll leave the video in the link from 2016 where I first saw this pointed out and has been ignored and kicked in the corner since. Because again, it's actual science that disproves their rotating globe. And they just can't have that to be able to keep making money while lying their asses off, deceiving you and your children every day. That's how these degenerates decided to make money in their lives. That's why they're the most pathetic people on this earth.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Before we end this video, I want to show you a clip from another video that would explain this a hell lot better than Pratt does. And can do. So, let this little clip begin.
In this video, I'm going to talk about the difference between linear and angular speed. So you see that Snowy and Santa are moving together in a circle. They're moving next to one another. So I'm going to say, for a sake example, that Santa and Snowy are moving together at 35 RPM. RPM means revolutions per minute. Now the distance around the circle, all the way around, is called the circumference. So one revolution is equal to 2 pi r. So let's calculate the linear speed for Snowy. The angular speed is 35 RPM, and Snowy is located at 5 centimeters, or 0.05 meters away from the center. So we begin with 35 revolutions per minute, and we need to convert revolutions to meters and minutes to seconds. So let's convert the minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds, and 1 revolution is 2 pi times the radius, 0.05. And that works out to 0.18 meters per second, or 18 centimeters per second. That would be the linear speed for Snowy. So the angular speed is 35 RPMs, and the linear speed is 18 centimeters per second, which means that he's traveling 18 centimeters along the circular path every second. Santa, on the other hand, has to travel a larger circle. So we're going to take 35 revolutions per minute, multiply that by the conversion factor, 1 minute over 60 seconds. Minutes cancel. Now we multiply that by the revolution conversion factor. 1 revolution is 2 pi times 0.15. Revolutions cancel. And that works out to 0.54 meters per second, or 54 centimeters per second. So Santa has a larger linear velocity because he's traveling a larger circle than Snowy. So the linear speed for Snowy is 18 centimeters per second, and Santa is 54 centimeters per second. But the angular speed is the same for both objects because they're traveling together in that circle.
Well, all I gotta say is, Darth Vader, take us out.
All too easy.